We're facing a small army out there, Chloe. We need Clark.
I know, Oliver, but I can't make Clark believe in me. Somewhere along the way, he stopped having trust in me.
It's because you left us.
Oh, no. You have not earned any kind of character development. You do not get to do this. No, siree.
I went down to the street to check. They vanished.
I know, because the world we're in is fake, and they escaped.
No.
And so now Clark is so convinced that Chloe's a traitor, he ignores all the evidence of his eyes, anything that explains that this is actually a virtual world they're trapped in, and just says, no, Chloe is bad, and I will not trust her no matter what.
Meh. If Chloe really believed in us, she would have told us she was leaving, and why.
You, of all people, Clark Kent, are upset that someone didn't tell you all of their secrets for your own good. You are the most upset by this.
And I expected you and Chloe to trust me all those years before you knew my secret.
Yeah, now it's our turn to trust her.
Thank you. I'm glad someone realizes this.
Chloe and Oliver jumped off that roof because...
It really is a portal to the real world.
Okay, credit to the show for trying to sell the Full House theme with this bit of dialogue. Lieutenant Trotter sneaks up on Chloe and clocks her out from behind. Way to do great security, Rick Flag, Deadshot, Green Arrow, and Black Canary. You're all a bunch of wusses. Why don't you get some people who know how to fight up in here?
Before a really intimidating hero shows up like Aqualad or Aunt May.
And so now Lieutenant Trotter assigns one of her random guards to take the avatar of Chloe over and use it to lead Clark astray.
Wait, why are they playing it like this? This isn't someone taking over the mind of the actual Chloe. This is someone grabbing the controller and playing her character. If I hand the controller to my boyfriend, the avatar on the TV doesn't start twitching and resisting.
Remember, this isn't Chloe Sullivan. It's Crash Bandicoot, only less obscure.
Chloe, we were just on our way.
Where?
To meet you on the roof, I'm ready to jump this time.
What are you talking about?
The portal to the real world.
You know, out of context, this just sounds stupid.
The one you tried to get him to jump through.
You know, the one where you completely suck at covering up your evil schemes.
What you're talking about is literally suicide, Clark. Are you actually gonna let Lois jump to her death?
Wait, you're not Chloe.
The escort is ready to transport the prisoner. They're waiting for you, ma'am.
You got the blur right where we want him.
If by have him where we want him, you mean exposing our schemes and now he's on the run from us. Okay, I will admit it, that moment was awesome.
But hardly original.
Stands to reason. And this is unoriginal and lame.
Can we go back to copying cool things at least? I've stopped expecting originality, but...
So does this mean that while the villains were making their big move, invading and eventually getting Chloe, Black Canary was out there just working on her eye makeup, including all the green subtleties on the outside, just to get the feathers right and all?
Well, Matt, she had to put on her makeup mask. She had to conceal her identity from her allies, who already know who she is, and villains who already know who she is.
This is what you get for trying to defend Smallville.
I'm sorry. I'll stop.
So now evil Chloe is going to play the role of Mephistopheles, even though she has powers in this world and Clark does not, because she's going to try to convince him that everything he believes about Chloe is not true, that she is in fact a villain.
So afraid to let go of this world that tethers you to any sort of normalcy.
Dear God, you even have to copy the boring pretensions of the Matrix.
I believe that as a species, human beings define their reality through misery and suffering.
Because why only copy the good parts of something? You know, Smallville, at this point, if you're just gonna milk everything from the early 2000s, I'm starting to wonder why you never did a frickin' pirate episode.
Oh, well, Family Matters beat him to it. And far be it from Smallville to ever take an idea from someone else. So Lois plays Angel to Chloe's devil and tells the truth and tells Clark to believe in himself. Because half of Smallville apparently is Clark learning to believe in himself. So Clark uses the flight powers he doesn't have in real life to overcome his lack of powers in the Matrix to return to real life where he can't fly, but he does have powers he didn't have in the Matrix. Everybody got that?
He's doing this Superman thing.
Because why show the thrilling escape from the government installation after we've knocked out most of our agents when we can watch moo cows instead?
I can't believe it's been 5 years already. You know, not to go all Steve Perry power ballad on you, but lately I feel like I've been the one living the virtual world.
What Steve Perry songs have you been listening to?
And do you have any copies for me?
It's a good thing you weren't here when Trotter took us down. You saved us.
Let's just say I learned from the best.
The Wachowskis?
And I gave them a choice. I could either report them to the government, or they could report to me.
The Suicide Squad. Chloe.
Clark, every Frankenstein has a human heart.
Wait. Was this Smallville's attempt at doing a Suicide Squad episode?
Could be worse.
Could be Snyder.
Love your perfume. What is that? The stench of death?
You knew that I was lying to you, and still you looked me in the eye every day, and you trusted me.
I guess that's the true test of believing in someone. Knowing that their lies are there to protect you.
And that's not a messed up message at all. Especially given recent events. Again, Google it.
Tess just texted that Trotter and her men are enjoying a taste of their own virtual venom.
So Trotter is stuck data dumping, is she? What?
We wanted to ask you a question.
I think what Lois is trying to say is, do you...
Will you be my maid of honor?
I was going to be maid of honor. I was going to be maid of honor. So Oliver and Chloe make up. Maybe they're back together as a couple. Maybe they're not. I'm not sure. But they're hugging. I guess that's good. And then Clark and Lois talk and don't really do anything. And it's a padded out ending. Good Lord, this episode sucked. And the thing is, them trapped in a VR simulation, like in the Matrix, could have been done well. But here's the key. You're not the Matrix, you're Smallville. Be Smallville. What if we never saw Chloe in this episode at first, and we just saw some dark, shadowy creature come out of the walls and attack them one by one and drag them away? They're all together and they're all trying to get out of this facility, and only like 2/3 through we realize they're in VR, they're being trapped and pegged for their information, and that this shadowy creature is actually Chloe, and that's the form she has to take, and defeating them is the only way to get them out of the simulation. You have to kill them in the game, so to speak, in order to get their program to unhook and make them possible to be removed. Then you could have this character have all sorts of inside knowledge about all their weaknesses and how they fight and can outdo them. And you keep rooting for them at first until you realize that all this time, if they would just give up and let this thing kill them, they'd get out. It's like a weird contradictory thing, and it would have been an intriguing mystery.
Halfway through, you have the twist that the terror to avoid is actually rescue. Kind of like that one episode of The Next Generation with Crusher in the space bubble.
That's a real problem with a lot of Smallville episodes is it seems like the writers didn't want to be doing Smallville for some reason. In fact, that's why I coined what I call the Smallville effect. Hardly unique to Smallville, but Smallville's where I really noticed this happening. Let's talk some more about the Smallville effect next time. Wait a minute. I just realized something. Remember this line?
1 down, 5 to go.
They never got Aquaman out. Okay, I am still.
If I hand the controller to my boyfriend, the avatar on the TV doesn't start twitching and resisting.
If I hand the controller over to my girlfriend, they might, because she is that bad at playing, but that's another matter altogether.